Welcome into the 411 podcast. It's Saturday, the 23rd. What's going on, everybody? If you're out there on Facebook, I want to say what's up. Instagram, come right on in. Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, D Live, Twitch, wherever you are streaming from. Please go ahead and like, comment, share, tag your friends, invite them into the 411 podcast. So tonight we have entrepreneur Miss Kanika Moore. That actually rhymes a little bit. Entrepreneur Miss Kanika Moore coming in tonight, and we're going to find out all about her wonderful business, the nails, the jewelry, the whole nine. Come right on in to the 411 podcast. And I want to get right on into this song of the day. It's all about the underdog, right? Giving some props to the people who really don't get the respect that they really deserve. That's the mode that I'm on right now. Jumpin', Destiny's Child. Off of the album, The Writing's on the Wall. 1999 debut album, everybody knows probably all of the songs from this from top to bottom. Even though that Michelle was not on this album, she's still part of Destiny's Child. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday to Michelle. And of course, Jumpin'. Who didn't love that? I love the beat. I love the whole video. It was real crazy and it was jumping pretty much. Destiny's Child, Writings on the Wall, 1999. I did this with TLC. So what's going on? Thank you so much for joining out there. I did this with TLC the other night and talked about female groups and basically groups in general, how it's really not right to really pick your favorite, but it happens. And so out of Destiny's Child, obviously we know who the most popular one is, but maybe she's not your favorite. Out of the Destiny's Child group, who was your favorite? I don't even know. I don't even know who would be my favorite from that, but and it's not Beyonce. So I'm sure that that's majority and people are going to pick Beyonce, but I think a lot of people really like Michelle off of the trio. I know a lot of people who was really rooting for Michelle during that time frame. Let me know your favorite Destiny's Child song and your favorite one from the group. And with that, I want to say very special thank you to all of you out there for joining and checking out the 4-on-1 and reading between the wines. The other night we had Jolly Doty come on, and she has a great book, The Last Savior. So please go ahead and check out the replay and check out the author, Jolly Doty. Also, I want to give a very special thank you to Ian West. Thank you for hanging in there with me. We Good Media Group, Ro Wang all the way from South Korea, Danny from My Survivor Voice podcast. Please go ahead and check out that podcast. Jason T. Davis all the way from California, Mr. Farrell Higginbotham from my hometown, Trenton, New Jersey, Leah Abraham all the way from New Mexico, SOS. Thank you for joining. I think you're in Virginia. You might be in Florida, but thank you for joining. And my brother, Mr. Nate Perry, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. And I really need y'all, the adults, to please go ahead and head on over to Instagram. And I need you to type in Miss Seduction Spot. Go on over to Instagram, type in Miss Seduction Spot, and go ahead and support my friend, Miss Seduction Spot, for all of your adulting needs. So if you ain't ready for it, then don't check it out. But if you're an adult and you need some adulting supplies and all of that great stuff, go ahead and check out Miss Seduction Spot because she has everything that you need. Now I want to go ahead and rewind the thing. I want to talk about what was the last topic of discussion that caused havoc in your circle of friends or family. So there's always that one, might be two, who always like to stir up some stuff and start some conversations that they probably really can't handle. Maybe you can't handle it. Maybe you just had to step away because it was just too much. I don't know. You know what's going on in your world. But what was the last topic of discussion that caused some havoc and it just broke some things up and shook some things up a bit? I will say, in my case, the last topic of discussion that really, really caused some issues is simple, which I've heard a lot of people say it as politics. So they say don't bring up politics in the workplace. Sometimes they say really don't bring them up In relationships, if you have different views, just leave it apart. Of course, if y'all both on the same page, then it's going to make sense. And then I've heard recently friendships as well has suffered a lot since 2020 with a lot of people going back and forth over politics. So, what was the last discussion that caused havoc in your circle of friends or family? I know for me, I really will not discuss politics at all. I try my best not to do it because um, it's interesting how something that is outside of people can disrupt the inner, if that makes sense. So, something outside of you that basically has nothing to do with you. And I know so many people are going to think elsewise, like, oh, yeah, that's me, that's this, that's that. This has been going on for a long time. This is just another chapter. This is just another decade. This is just another era that we've been going through. This division, the separation when it comes to politics has been going on since before, any of us even knew about it. So come on now, you really going to let something outside of you destroy the inner and destroy the love that you have for somebody else? For me, I say absolutely not. I won't do it. What was your last topic of discussion that caused all kinds of hell, all kinds of havoc? I know there's one that's been really circling right now that's been tearing some things up. Starts with the letter A, but I'm not going to do that. That slipped up a little bit a couple nights ago, but yeah. Now, with that, some people, after they say what they say, after they do what they do, they might just want to remove themselves. They might say, I'm not really feeling you anymore. I don't like your views. I don't like your opinion. So after we establish that, and there's a little bit of separation, there's a little bit of hurt feelings, there's a little bit of whatever, how easy is it for you to let it go? Whether it be that topic of conversation, whether it be, guess what? They're really not feeling you anymore. They're feeling you to the point where they don't even want to even be bothered with you anymore. So now you got to let that person go. Now you got to let this whole situation that we got go. So how easy is it for you to let it go? Um, I know it's easier said than done. And we hear it all the time, let them go, let them go, let them go. But really, how easy is it really for you to let them go, especially if you had some time invested? I spoke about this before, even though, like I said, it's easier said than done, but it's a hell of a lot more easier for me today, the man that I am today, to let things go than the man that I was before. So even though I still try to hold on because I'm just not that good yet, I'm not where I would like to be, even though I still might try to hold on to those strings a little bit, um, I'm not holding on as long as what I used to in the past. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for the evolution that I'm going through. But for you out there, maybe there's somebody out there struggling. Speak your truth. How easy is it for you to let them go? Because let me tell you, before I couldn't let anything go. I always had to have the last word. I always had to have the last say. And I wouldn't let you go. You tried to go, but I wouldn't let you go, and I continued to hold on. And in the long run, yes, you might be hurt over it because you want to leave, and maybe this other person don't want you to leave. But the person who's hanging on and holding on to that rope and holding on to the strings when the other person is pulling and pulling with all their might to get away, who's really getting hurt in the long run? So you be the judge. I don't know what goes on in your world, but how easy for you to let whether that conversation go, whether that person go, whatever it is. How easy is it for you to let it go? Mm. Let's reach out to Miss Kanika Moore. What's going on? How you doing out there? Thank you for joining. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you. This is the 411 podcast.
Hi.
Hey, 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 how are you?
good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the 411. What's
All
going
right, let's
what
do it.
what's going on in your world? Where are you calling from tonight?
I'm calling from Austin, Texas.
Texas in the house. Okay. I have never been to Texas, but I heard that the weather is interesting. It sort of does its own thing.
Oh, yes, it is very interesting. Over 100 degrees, and it's a normal day. It's normal,
So over
in the summer.
so over
But
okay. So,
we have had some excessive heat, though.
well, we actually are having some excessive heat here in New Jersey, so we're right there with you. And I love this type of weather, but people around me, a lot of people don't like it. So 100 degrees is normal.
I can't lie. I got a love hate relationship with it. Like, as long as I'm out of it and I don't gotta be in it too long, then I'm cool. But if I gotta be out there for a long time, then it's like, okay, wait a minute.
Nah, I love it because I really don't do the weather, the winter. Excuse me, I really don't do the winter. So all of this excessive heat, all of
You
this
know,
heat
I don't do
wave,
it at all.
I embrace it. What are the winters
No,
like?
I agree.
What are the winters like?
So honestly, these winters have been the Texans, like the Austinites, the
Mm-hmm.
unicorns, the real natives of Austin. This hasn't been like normal
Mm-hmm.
winter conditions. Basically, like we've had snow. Like it's been like a regular like state. Like nah, this is like I'm in Chicago. Like nah, I don't know snow. I
Remember?
don't want cold. I don't know. Like it's a different type of cold from um you east and Midwest. Like no,
Mm-hmm.
and being in Texas, like I shouldn't be feeling that type of chill in my bones down here. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't moving now.
What was
Like
what
I
was it?
can't.
I think it was 2020 or 21 when I don't know. No, it might have been 2020 when you guys had all that crazy snow that was
Oh
unexpected.
my God! Like I don't know. Like I thought I put this to back in Chicago. Like I was just like, what's going on here? Because people was like, yeah, it don't snow until every 10
Mm-hmm.
years, and since I've been here, it's been snowing damn near every year, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh
that's crazy.
yeah, what's the cursing? What's the cursing? I have a sailor's potty mouth.
It's all good. It's all
So I
good.
censor this. Is this? So I censor this mouth or no?
Now, you said you're from Chicago?
Yes.
Okay, that's where you were born and raised.
Born and raised. So I'm actually from Blue Island. That's where I was born, but raised in Chicago.
Okay.
Blue Island is like right next door.
So, how do you go from Chicago to Texas? How does that happen?
Oh, my now ex husband. I say right move, wrong husband.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna move past
Love.
that.
Yeah,
um,
we go ahead on.
um, uh, so you have your business, and make sure I got this right. Nailish.
Yes.
All right. So Kanika, explain to us how you got into nails, and it's not even just nails. So she does a lot of things, accessories and all of that great stuff. So how does this come about?
Okay. So basically, um, you know how you just be searching for that your niche, that thing
Mm-hmm.
that you just have that your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was searching for that for so long, and honestly, like my ex husband like pointed that out to me, like you love doing nails. Like I would literally just sit and just angry, hungry, whatever emotion, mood, whatever that I was in, I would do nails. You know, that was just my thing as a hobby. It started off as a hobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it formed into a career, into a passion, into, oh, this is my thing. This is actually what I enjoy doing.
That's what's up.
And yeah, I found myself just like lost in doing, like, I could not get paid for doing nails and just, doing what I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what movie this is, but it was some movie that I could never forget it now just from hearing it. But it said, when you find what you love to do,
Mm-hmm.
you will never work another day in your life.
Absolutely.
And I didn't like that stood with me, but until I understood it, until it made sense to me in my actual reality, you know what I mean? Because it's different when you hear something, see something, and then when it really connects with you on a different level, you know what I mean? When you like, oh, wait a minute, like that clicked actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
how about this? Like,
it clicked for me.
how about this? When you just do it from the heart because you love to do it and you don't even worry about getting paid. I think that a lot.
No, because
Yeah. No, you go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm sorry, but yes, I was just gonna say, like, when you're not necessarily focused on the financial standpoint of anything, not just just whatever, you know what I'm saying? When you if it's really a passion that you have driven in your soul, like, I will sit there for. I still to this day I can sit for hours and just do what's the girl, I don't know her name, but hours and hours and hours. I can sit for hours and just do nails, and not just do nails, but I can just sit for hours and create. I can just be in here just by myself anywhere. Like, just give me anything, and I would just use some weird mediums. Like, it don't even have to be necessarily art tools, jewelry pieces, anything. I would use random items just sitting around and put something together, because that's just creativity. I just love to create things, like anything.
Oh, this is.
It goes beyond jewelry. It goes beyond art. That's what nailish is: beauty, fashion, nails, and all things art. Because it's beyond it's beyond nails.
Right.
It's more. It's the ish is anything in between. It's everything. I don't have a limit to what I create. I create everything.
I like that. So, and you definitely can tell if you all go ahead and check her out. She does TikTok videos, reels, the whole nine, and you can see that yes, it is nails, but it's everything else in between. Which I was pleasantly surprised when I came across and started to see that. So, when did you get started? When did you start this?
I've been started all my life. You know what I mean? But nailish came about in 2016. In 2016, I created nailish when I professionally got my nail license and everything. I created nailish. Just doing nails and nail services, and then when the pandemic hit, I had to pivot. Right, we shut down. I couldn't perform services no more. So that turned into having to create a product to sell. So I tried to do press on nails like way before, like a couple of years, before I had actually got licensed or whatever, but it was a flop because I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? And it wasn't the time for it.
Now, it's interesting.
And that,
I don't mean to cut you off. It's interesting that you say that because there's a lot of the pop up nail things. So
Oh yeah.
it's a lot, and it seemed like it kind of can be a little frustrating for somebody who has a lot of passion like you. And I'm
Mhm.
speaking on your behalf, which I shouldn't, but you have the passion. I can hear it in your voice. I understand. I trust me, I'm right there with you. And then all of a sudden, there's
Mhm.
a string of people seeing the success that maybe you have, or maybe some others that they came across. And then somebody says, "Oh, wow, I love this idea. Let me go ahead and try to do this so I can make money out of it." And then they sort
Yeah.
of, yeah, you might make some money, but then all of a sudden, there becomes like these copycatters, and there's a whole bunch of ugh that
Mhm.
gets
It's
put
a
all
lot
up
of
in there.
that.
So, how do you compete
Mhm.
and separate yourself away from all of that stuff? Like you said, you got your license, but I'm sure a lot of these pop up, and I
Yeah.
call them
By
fly.
staying original to myself, like that's an easy answer. Like you is no what's the saying? I don't get me wrong, because I be confused with some wording a little bit. Don't so I always say don't quote me, but
Mm-hmm.
it goes a little something like there's no comparison where competing where you can compare, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like what's for you is gonna always be for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's in me, on me. You know what I mean? So whenever I create something and it's somebody that come behind me and do like, oh, that's inspiration to me, because that's what I'm here doing my purpose, right? I'm living and walking in my purpose, and I'm inspiring people at this point to do what whatever, to try to be better, to try to live, you know what I'm saying, to activate them to go down whatever path they need to go around to see, to do whatever. So sometimes it's like we always sometimes we don't have to have that crab in the barrel mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this person is trying to be better than me, or they copying me. Sometimes it's just like maybe I'm inspiring that person. You know what I'm saying? I should be flattered that they copying me and trying to be like me, or whatever, because they see that I'm going in the right direction and they following behind me. So I hold a higher position, so I need to, what I'm saying, not be envious or upset that somebody is trying to imitate me or imitate my image, because I'm gonna always be original no matter what. Like it don't matter. Like at the end of the day, the truth is always gonna come to the light. You know what I mean? So the
Mm-hmm.
fake is gonna always be exposed. It doesn't matter. So I'm gonna always be true to myself, and I'm gonna always just do me. I don't care who doing whatever they doing, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Not in no disrespectful way, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'm just like I got blinders on my own personal goals, and I'm my own creative being, and I got my own thing. You can give 6, 10, 100 different artists the same materials, and we gonna all come up with different things. It's gonna might be a little similar, something here, there, and da 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 da. Yeah, because we got the same materials, but the after product is gonna be different. It don't matter how many artists, whatever, it's gonna all be different. You give us 3 pieces of material, it's gonna be different.
Wow, you said it all right there. For anybody who was thinking A, by the time you get done hearing that, you might be thinking B. So I appreciate that because it's easier.
Yeah.
It's easier
What
said.
they say is it's another saying with the bread, right? Like they look at all the bread that you go down in the grocery aisle. You know what I'm saying? We all got different
Mm,
bread. We don't all got the same bread.
you know what? That is a real good analogy. That's real good. I like that. Miss
Mm-hmm.
Kanika. So if you can go ahead and drop your social media handles, all of that. I know you're on TikTok. I know you're on Instagram. I know you're on Facebook. Or are you on any other platforms?
Um, no, I think that's about it. I think
Those are the
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Yep, those are the major ones.
I think I got a Twitter, but I don't really use it. Like I don't even know how to use Twitter. I'm gonna be honest. So, like I don't know how to use Snapchat. I'm a little old school, so
I feel you on that. Your website? You got a website?
I got a website. It's nail dash ish .com. I got an Etsy. I really don't use Etsy. I would much rather y'all just use my I don't got Etsy, y'all. Just use my ish.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
it.
So now the nails. Out of
Mm-hmm.
your nails and your accessories, what's like your most popular product now?
Honestly, my fashion bags have been my most popular product. And that's not even a lot of those are not even on my website. I have not.
Hmm.
I'm a one woman show around here.
I know. I
Like
saw that.
like
I think I
it's
saw
it's
one
tough
bag.
around here.
You said it's tough around there.
It's a little tough in these streets around here for Nellish because I'm just a one woman show right now, and just like my baby, so it's hard for me to. I keep complaining about not having help, but even when help comes,
Mm.
I be like, nah, I do it. Because it's my baby, and I'm just like, ain't nobody gonna do it like I'm gonna do it, and I just I want that same energy that I'm giving behind my brand. I want somebody else coming behind me just as strong like that. But it's kind of hard to find that when it ain't it ain't their passion. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't everything ain't for everybody. So
I hear you. I had a problem when I
yeah.
had my own business and it came time for packing up. You know, I saw you do
Mhm.
little pop up shops and stuff. I
Oh
could
yeah.
not enjoy most of my pop up shops because when it came time to pack up, people would throw the product in the crates. Like you can't
Mm-mm.
throw the product in the crates like that. You gotta separate it by brand, color, whatever you do it. But
I'm not even
yeah,
gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say that I don't understand them because today I threw a couple of my racks because I was just it was hot. I was mad. I was the last person there, damn near the first person there, and then I was the last
no,
person to leave. Everybody was
mm-mm,
gone. I was just frustrated.
no,
So
no,
I'm
that,
like, I can understand that on a different level when you in the moment, you there by yourself, and you just got other stuff going on. You probably ain't made no sales, and you didn't brought all this product. You didn't got all. It's just it be a
that's
whole
part.
bunch of different
Yeah,
stuff going through your mind.
yeah, but
So it's like I can understand both spectrums of it. Like, yeah, you should because I'm the now me. I'm like I love to put my purses and everything up and put it in the bag and make sure it's covered up and da da da. But guess what? My rack fell over today, and I got a couple of scuffs on a couple of my purses. You know what I'm saying? That made me mad. So I'm like, like even me trying to take care of it, the wind blew over my whole rack, and now I got
mm.
some stuff. So it's
Yeah, but
like,
that was nature doing that. Like you didn't do it. Like it's
you
one thing.
know,
It's one thing if that happens, but for someone to just disrespect the whole being and destroy product, I listen. I was watching people like a
hey,
hawk.
you don't know what I don't judge because you don't know what a person day has been like. You don't know
Well,
what anything. Sometimes people just be frustrated, and
and you
it
know,
just comes out in different ways. And I'd rather it be some products than somebody going and kill a mass shooting somewhere and doing some weird stuff. You
listen.
know what I'm saying?
You know what I gotta say about it. You can break all the product you want, but it just won't be over here in this area. So you go ahead and take all that somewhere else.
Hey, Exactly. That's where it comes in, man, in your business. Because guess what? That ain't your product. You do you, boo. Hey, you gonna have to remake that. You gonna have to re-get that back or whatever you gonna have to do to recoup that. That's on you. But I wouldn't be doing it to my stuff because I'm trying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm on a
yeah,
different mission than you.
yeah.
Obviously.
I hear you on that one. So coming up, what inspired you? Who did you look up to? I'm sure you were watching MTV, BT, VH1, or I'm sure something, somebody famous inspired
Oh
you.
wow. Okay, wait a minute. Wait. We're gonna have to go in one question. So, what inspired me? Okay.
Who inspired you?
Honestly, I'm gonna be just honest with you. What inspired me, like to do nailish or like what?
Everything that we could start with nailish, and of course,
Everything,
the
right?
accessories and all of that.
I would say what inspired me to do nailish, honestly, was the pandemic here, right? And I felt like I was a loser, you know what I'm saying? Because my job was in the wind. Like we had basically got laid off from the salon that I worked at. I'm not gonna say no name, but from
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
the nail salon that I was working at, it's a high end nail salon. You know, we everybody got laid off because everybody had to stay home. You know, we had
Mm-hmm.
the quarantine order
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's like job and livelihood was basically up in the air at that moment. And like I'm like any regular person. Well, let me just speak for myself. I'm not gonna say any regular person, but me myself at that time, uh, that's the only income I had. You know, like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know what else to do at that moment. So I was like in a panic moment. Like, yeah, okay, go try to apply for unemployment, but if that didn't go through, what I didn't know how I was going to survive without having this job to
Right.
supply me with the money that I needed to survive. Basically, that freed me out, and I just felt like I'm 30. At the time I was like 30. 34 or whatever. I'm like, oh, I felt a certain type of way, like, oh, I'm here and I'm, almost 40 basically, and I'm dependent on this job and I don't have no type of backup. They say seven streams of income, is the mindset of a millionaire and how you become a millionaire and everything. And that was my only stream, so I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I was panicking and I'm just like, man, this is not how I want to die. I thought we was all finna die, to be honest, like
Mm.
with everything that was coming down on us. So I was just like freaking out and like, man, like I don't want to. I told my ex this, like I didn't want to die without having something to show that I created, that I'm leaving behind. Like I didn't feel like I accomplished anything. So I wanted to do something and leave something behind. So Nailish was just full throttle. Like I had already created Nailish, but
Mm.
I wasn't really like doing anything with it. I was just really more so working for other jobs and companies and slaving for these people where I'm leaving my own dream and my own legacy on the back burner. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, if I could do that for
Yeah.
another person and
Mm-hmm.
their dreams, I could do that for
Mm-hmm.
myself. And try to create something for myself. Even if I fall and bust my face, at least I tried to do it. Like I tried to do it for these other people.
I think that everybody should work two jobs, and that's
Yeah.
every single person listening that ever comes across this replay, whether it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now, who knows? I hope and I pray that it continues to thrive on for that long period. But everyone should work two jobs. Number one, I get that we got to do our 9 to 5 jobs and we got to hustle. I understand that. But the minute that you punch out, you need to punch into yourself. And you need to make sure that that same energy, that same time, that same focus that you gave to somebody else, that you are putting it in to yourself. Because just like a job, just like a relationship, just like a friendship, just like anything, when that person decides to go ahead and do the 180 on you and turn their back on you, you can't be feeling all broken up and feeling all defeated and down like you can't move on and you can't go forward. Because if you put that time and energy into you, when that person turns their back on you, you're going to be like, oh, I'm good. I got this. Whether that's work, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a friendship, you fall to pieces and you act like, you want to, do some terrible things to yourself is when you ain't been putting that work into self. So Will Serve out there, he says, our legacy is so important to us. Books, visuals, and acting is for me. It's our time to shine now and speak about it through podcasting. You can do it. Entrepreneurship is on 24 hours. Everyone should tap in ASAP.
Yes. And it really is. Like, entrepreneurship is not for the weak. Like, it's been so many times. Like, even still now, I be like, I be want to give up. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I be like, I can just cut my losses and it's hard. Like, honestly, it's hard. Like, I literally bust my head today. Like, bleed. I had blood coming out of my head today. Like, I bust my head today. I bust my knee up today. Like, it's really blood, sweat, tears, and bruises over here. Like, it's sleepless nights. Like, I'm tired. I'm trying not to curse right now. That's why I keep pausing. I'm trying.
Well, I want to tell you that you can. Like, if it happens, it happens. It ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Okay, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know. At different platforms, you can't curse, and it just be a whole lot of different.
We got rid of all of them because I went with that where I had to censor some of my guests, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. We're not doing that. We're going to be able to come on here and speak truth and not try to.
You said fuck it, so now I'm like fuck it too now. Shit, you let it ride now.
Yeah, we're not covering stuff up and trying to. Yeah, so we yeah. All right, so now let's go ahead and get right on into burning questions. But before we do that, can you let us know one more time where we can go ahead and follow you at?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Nail AIL _ISH_. That's Nail Ish. You can find me at nail-ish at nail-ish.com. That's my website. Facebook, they made me change my name on Facebook. I had my Facebook Nailish name for like since 2016, and then when I finally got incorporated, they made me change the name.
Yeah.
So it's K Moore, KAY Moore, MOORE, with my Nailish logo, not the picture of me when I was married. Don't look at that. That's my old married profile. If you see the other K Moore, but don't go and look at it. It's horrible. It's terrible.
I'm not even dealing with you right now. Yeah, making me laugh, making me forget my freaking train of thought here tonight. I will tell you though, since the first time that we spoke today, you are real. I really do enjoy speaking with you. I really do. Like real 100% right from like. We could have just kept on going earlier, but I know we had to stop. But
no, for real, that's why I'm like, no, we gotta stop and we gotta do this for the lab, like for real.
Yeah.
No, we could probably go all day.
Yeah. So I want to say that first time when I talked to you was like maybe about, an hour and almost close to 2 hours ago. First time we ever had a live conversation. So I wrote the show and everything before, you know, 2 hours before I even spoke to you. And it's so mystical, it's so supernatural. I love when this happens, but it also is very mind blowing to me because the burning questions that I ask and the conversation that you're having with me here today, it's just like it gives me confirmation of why I need to continue to press play right here because it makes sense. And you're gonna know once I start to talk about this burning question here, and you're gonna be like, okay, I get it. It gets a little freaky sometimes where it's like, all right, this is supposed to happen. And the guests that come on, like there'll be times when I'll write a question and the guest cancels, but then the next guest comes on 2 or 3 nights later and I'll use that question for them and it was meant specifically for them. So this question is specifically for you and I know it is based off of our vibe. Burning question is, how do you keep a healthy work life and love balance? So you personally, I know you got your entrepreneurship going on. I'm not sure if you got a 9 to 5 as well, but some of us, we got to do that too. It's hard sometimes. And I just want to know, what do you do to keep a healthy work life? Because you have to live yourself too, and then love as well. If that's what's working in your whole aura right now.
So, first of all, I'm single. Let's put that out there. I don't have a work. I don't have that issue. So that's the solution. Be single, y'all. But realistically, it's more complex than that, right? Like you want to say like, oh, like. Cause this is something that I used to say would be like, it's just easy, you make time for what you want to have in your life and what you want. The same amount of time you putting into these jobs and you putting into other stuff, the same energy you putting into other things you could be putting into building a relationship with this person or that whatever. But sometimes it's not always that easy, right? Sometimes people get caught up in their day with work, and sometimes this is more mentally draining for others than it might be for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people might have harder days and harder issues and situations that they going through at the time. You know what I'm saying? That it might be a little bit too much for you to bear. So they kind of like fall back on you so that it won't. They pain won't trickle onto you. You know what I mean? And that's kind of hard for us to accept. I had to kind of accept that myself. And it's like, damn, like, well, I'd rather somebody to hurt me than just let me know. Like, no, you probably didn't want that. That was probably the universe saving you from something that you didn't necessarily, need to encounter. So
I know
sometimes disappointment and rejection is just redirection.
Oh, I like that. You are full of wisdom. You drop these little gems here, and it's these things that you say that I love it. I'm gonna rewind back a little bit, but I remember you saying it's not. You said it's in me, it's not on me.
Yep.
I love that. But now what you're talking about, you said rejection sometimes is redirection, right? That's amazing right there too. But I get what you're saying. Having a healthy work life, love balance, being an entrepreneur, doing your thing. Sometimes.
No, honestly, like let me give you a real scenario, right? Today I came in, mind you, I had a market, I got in 1:30 this morning. Then I had to be back out of here. I was out at 7:30 this morning. So that means I had to get up at like 5 something this morning, get up, get dressed, get in the shower, get clean, all this different stuff, and be somewhere else to another market. And then I got home at like after 5 o'clock. Like that's a full day, like a work day. You know what I mean? And it ain't no guarantee that you getting paid. It ain't no guarantee you're gonna make no money. It ain't no guarantee of none of it. You just in the unknown at that moment. But you still, trying to make something happen, and you come home. I came home and I was like, I'm so glad I'm single, because I couldn't imagine myself having a kid or something in here, or having a husband in here to have to cook for and do something. Like, I was tired as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I was just in the heat for over 8 hours, trying to make it happen. And like, to come home, to be in a relationship, the amount of energy it takes to have a relationship, to just give anybody else your energy. You know what I mean? From a kid to a relationship to anything.
Yeah.
It's just like, that is a lot. Like, you already just went and put your energy into this and did this, and your energy is drained, and to have to come and be like, that's a lot, and you don't want to give somebody bad energy and make them feel less than, or make them feel, some type of way like they not good enough or something, because you know what I'm saying, going through whatever, and you trying to make your dream happen, and you trying to do whatever you trying to do, because we all got different paths and different journeys.
Well, I guess there you go. How do you keep a healthy work-life love balance? And you said, I just ain't doing it when it comes to the love. But and I get that.
I mean,
I get that.
I'm not saying that it can't work though. I'm not saying I'm just saying for me right now, what's working for me is not doing it. But for a healthy situation to happen, it would have to be open and honest communication, because you can have the dream and do everything and all that, and you can the team, but it's like, have to have that team member, right? The right team member,
exactly,
to be on your side, and you have to have that open and honest communication, because if you're not honest about what you got going on, and like, look, I feel a little drained right now. I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to argue with you or whatever, and whatever. So that's why I'm just gonna distance myself a little bit, because people start moving differently, and what confuses everybody is the communication. The communication is lost. So if we communicate truly and honestly, it would be no confusion.
What about you? I listened to this one here, which I thought about as well. So you're an entrepreneur. How do you think you would match up and link up with another entrepreneur, someone who is just as busy as you, has their own thing going on? Do you think that maybe you would be able to understand that person, and maybe they will be able to understand you? Because sometimes when you're not on the same level as somebody, someone might feel left out, and they might not appreciate the time and energy that you're putting into your business or yourself. How do you think you would do with that situation?
I feel like it's this is gonna probably sound cliche, right? But it's levels to everything, right? And it's like you said, right? Maybe your career is a little more higher up than mine. I might work at let me just say, a gas station, for instance, and you work in corporate America somewhere, top CEO or something. You know what I'm saying? So your career might be a little more demanding than mine, but that doesn't take away from what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the woman in my field, in my career, in my position, in my area, in my expertise. You know what I'm saying? Like, people get confused with intelligence and power and all these different titles. A title don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can get a title. Like, you can buy a title. It's nothing. It's the knowledge and the respect and the ethic behind that. What you're doing in anything. So if you can be the lowest man on the totem pole and have more respect than the king himself. You know what I'm saying? Because the king is an asshole and he treat everybody like shit.
I've seen that happen.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've seen that same type of scenario happen before. I actually was in that situation.
Yeah.
I was in that situation where I had somebody like two levels up, right? 2 levels of higher than me, and nobody respected that person. They couldn't stand them. They just was like, they would come to me and be like, "Why aren't you there?" And I would just look at them and be like, "It's just not the right time. This is not the right time."
Yep.
But
and that's the real thing. Timing is everything.
It was the people underneath me that elevated me and put me to where I needed to be. I didn't do it. It was the people underneath me because of the way that I treated them with the love and respect. That the person that was 2 levels up above me, that was being disrespectful and, like you said, just an outright asshole, nobody respected that person at all. So I had to give thanks to the people underneath me for putting me where I ultimately was in corporate America. So interesting that you said that.
Everybody don't need power, and it is not supposed to be in a position of power because people abuse it. That's why you got to put the right people in certain positions so that they can spread the love around. You know what I mean? Like, you can't put somebody that's greedy and malicious in a gateholder position, because then they can do some
jacked up
foul stuff.
Yep.
They don't
But they all ultimately end up self-destructing anyway.
I mean, because what goes karma is karma. You can't what goes around comes around. If you do good, you're gonna get good. If you do bad, you're gonna get bad. It don't matter if it's gonna come 10 years, wherever it come down the line, it's coming back to you. You might be doing good right now and doing all that, but you better believe it's coming back to you. Have something. So you hopefully hey.
I hear you. Well, this has been an experience. You dropped so many gems. You are very knowledgeable. And I would definitely love to have you come back on again in the future so we can continue this.
I would love to come back. This was dope, yo. I was so I was scared. I was like, I don't know what happened.
Now, what were you scared of? Just the experience?
I don't know. I'm like, who sent you? Like, what you I don't know.
Where
there's gonna be punked or something? I don't know.
You were like, where you come from?
I know. I'm like, oh no, they gonna try to punk me or something. I don't know what's going on. This new day, there's be so many. There's stuff going on out here now.
Trust and believe it is, and we are in for a ride coming up soon. So everybody, brace yourself and be prepared. Be prepared and stay woke, because all you gotta do is scroll through your social media timeline, and you'll see what's getting ready to come down. I see it every day. But go ahead and let them know one more time where you are calling from and all that good stuff about your business before we go ahead and get out of here.
Alrighty, I'm calling from Austin, Texas, but don't get it twisted. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I said the Illinois, yes, woo. But you can reach me on Nail_ish_ on Instagram, KAYMOORE with the 2-finger sign, Nailish. That would be my business page. Or you can reach me at nail-ish.com. All right.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Kanika. I love your realness. I love you.
Thank you.
Just being you, and just continue to do that. And I'm sure the sky's the limit for you. Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
And keep doing those
Definitely.
TikTok videos. Y'all check out her TikTok page. She put some time and some
Oh
work.
yeah, you already know them fire signs.
Put
Yeah.
some time and some work in that thing. Go ahead and check her out on TikTok. All right. Take
All
care.
right.
You have a good night.
You too.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
All right, y'all. So there you have it. That was Miss Kanika Moore from Alish. Again, you heard it, just real life conversation and real talk. And ain't afraid when you're doing this. And sometimes when you are trying to step into what you want, sometimes you just got to go through full throttle and you cannot be afraid. There's no fear in this. When you have fear, it holds you back from what you can ultimately become and what you want to do. And I know it firsthand because today, there is no fear. We all go through this whole situation with love, and we spread love here. And speaking of spreading love, I have to say thank you so much to each and every one of you out there who watch and come through. 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, whoever. I just appreciate everybody out there. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, D Live, Twitch, wherever you are checking me out, streaming from, I appreciate you. You can go ahead and follow me, subscribe, whatever you want to call it, on YouTube at Laren Gaines. You can also get small clips of the show on Daily Motion as well. Everything across the board at Laren Gaines. Now, if you would like to support the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines, please go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms. And you can go inside of Volume 1.5 Deliberation Remix Journal, a 30-day transformational journey towards a healthier mindset. That is my new book for $7.99. And listen, the man that you see here today, this was not always me. I had to go ahead and go through a transformational change, and I'm also still currently on my journey right now. I'm telling you a little bit about my past, I'm telling you about my present, and I'm also opening up and leaving it for you to go ahead and write your destiny right along with me as I'm speaking positive affirmations into my life and letting you know who I am. And remember, nobody gets to tell you who you are today. Like when it comes to me, nobody gets to tell me who I am today. I tell you who I am. And don't let anybody ever go ahead and tell you who you are or go ahead and write your story. You write your own. Write it with the Remix Journal. Thank you so much. Again, I appreciate my special guest, Miss Kanika Moore, for coming out. And she has a business called Nailish. Y'all go ahead and check her out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And on that note, I will see you when I see you. Thank you so much, Mr. Will Serve, coming through. I appreciate you. And I'm sure he's going to go ahead and check you out as well. And again, everybody out there, Facebook, I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night. Take care.